Right.
To him that overcometh.
To him that overcometh.
That overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise
So,
of God.
we thought it's forgotten tree. No, John is saying, hey, that tree is still well and alive. I mean, it is a forgotten tree in the United States. But, John is saying, oh no, the heaven has not forgotten that. Because that is the tree is planted and it is planted forever. It says heaven and earth, everything that you see will pass away. Matthew chapter 24. And read it verse from 44 to 49. It says heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never. And it says in Psalm chapter 119 verse 90, he says, my words are settled down forever. If you really wanted to see it, just check it. And you see these words are so true or not. It says, my words are settled down forever. My words are settled down forever. We see everything is unsettled. Nothing is settled in the world. Nothing. Everything is wavering. Everything is shaky and raky and really. But the Lord is saying, the word is settled down forever. I know your life is rocking in the boat. I know your problems. You are vacillating. And the Lord is saying, the word is established for you and me. It's established forever. How, when, how long? It's forever, it's established. It came down. But he's saying, look, it's been established. Why it is established? Because he said, without me, you can do nothing. John 15:5. Without him, we can do nothing. That's why the word is so very important. The word is the fruit. The word that we need to simulate and eat them every day. That is in the beginning what? In the beginning was the word. John 1:1. In the beginning was the word. The word was
with God.
The word was God. And Revelation chapter 19 verse 16, it says, Revelation 19 chapter verse 16.
Revelation 19.
And we will know who is that word. I mean, let's see, because we know that Jesus is the word. And even while he...
Revelation 19.
Chapter 19, verse 16.
1916.
Yeah.
1960, okay. And he hath on his vesture.
Right. He has on a vesture.
And on his thigh a name written.
A name written.
King of Kings.
King of Kings.
And Lord of Lords.
Wow. And keep reading it.
And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven,
right.
Come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God.
Yes. Yes. He is preparing the great supper for all of us to be there. Yes. Yes, yes. That is the final great banquet that we are going to be there. That's why He has chosen us to have that great blessing to be with Him. Just read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That you may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men and the flesh of horses,
right,
and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great.
Yeah, go read it.
And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse.
I mean, like always, there is a war that is going on. And we have to understand, there is a spiritual warfare going on from the day you've been born. It was started way back. And there is a warring members in each and every one of us, no matter what. That's where Paul was saying, in Ephesians chapter 6, we all know, chapter 10 to 18, it says, you're not only wrestling with your flesh and the bone and blood, but he's saying we have principalities, the powers of the darkness, the dominions, the authorities. We are constantly battling. We are constantly battling because you see, the enemy wants to completely blanket with the death everywhere. If If you open the television, you just watch, They protect today, I heard. It was shocking to me. In Florida, this is happening right here. If you happen to kill a bird or if you try to destroy a nest here, do you know that you have to fine $5,000 and you'll be jailed here? If you take a bird and kill them, but you see, they can obnoxiously kill a woman, a voiceless woman. And only thing she cannot eat like you and me, that's all. Instead of eating the pork, I found that. Instead of eating the fork and knife, and that's the only thing. And now you see, we know today, they unplug the tube. Because you see, death is everywhere. Death is everywhere because the enemy wants to impose death on us. Because remember, he has come to what? He's come to kill. Yes, John chapter 10 verse 10 to 14, you read it. He has come. Yes, come on.
Kill, steal, and destroy.
Yes. And from the beginning, who was he? Who was he? Come on, Richie.
Not from the beginning.
Yes, from the beginning, who was he?
Beautiful.
John chapter 8 verse 44. Come on, read it. And he was a liar from the beginning. He was always changed the truth. And that's see, when Jesus said, I am the truth and I am the way, I am the life. Right? John chapter 14 verse 6, he said, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. Right? And here he is. Here he goes. And here he says something. Remember what he says. Read it.
Okay. John 8:24?
Yeah, 8:44. 8:44.
8:44.
Yeah,
okay.
8:44.
You are of your father the devil,
Oh.
and the lusts of your father you will do.
Right.
He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth because
See, he's what again? John was read, he's a murderer.
a murderer.
Yeah, he was a murderer. He was a murderer. Yes, he was a murderer from the beginning. He was not a murderer recently. So, he was saying he was a murderer from the beginning. What was it? Read it, Kathy.
And abode not in the truth because there is no truth in him.
There is what?
There is no truth in him.
Wow. And Jesus said, I am the truth. And he said, I am the light. I am the truth. When he stood before Pilate, Pilate said, what are you? He said, I come to bear the truth. I come to testify for the truth. He blew his mind. He said, what is the truth? Remember that word? What is the truth? John chapter 18, you read it 1 to 6, he says, what is the truth? It's really, you are seen in the movie, Passion of Christ. And he was so moved and he can't understand what is the truth. Because it's right, the truth is standing right before him. Because he was so blindfolded. Because, he wanted the seat. He wanted the power. You see, he knew the truth. Because his wife came in. His darling wife came in. Honey, please. Please don't do anything with this man. I see this man is an innocent man. I suffered a lot yesterday night concerning this man. You must be the true one. You must be the Messiah. Please leave him alone. Don't, at any cost, don't execute him because I suffered a lot. You see, the other half has already won this man. In the other half, already won this man. Don't do anything. That's why he was looking for a way to escape because he knew there's something about the truth. But you see, he don't want to admit the truth. The reason why he don't want to admit the truth, because he was so strong with the chair. He said, I can't give up this. I let go of the truth, but I need this. I need this. I need this. See, this was very comfortable for him. And later on, the tradition says, I think he lived for a couple of years. Maybe after 6 years, he was became insane. I think he killed himself. So what good it is if a man, he covered the whole world and he loses his soul. My dear people, this is so very important. We should know what is going on around us. We have to know where we are going, who we are. today, because you see, we have to come out of the humdrum. Because we keep hearing so many bizarre sounds. We keep seeing so many bizarre things around us, which is not really coming to the truth. Because you see, we have put everything beside. Everything's been thrown away. Everything thrown away. And what we see is light. Because the liar is twisting and warping the truth. That's why we have to be so very careful in our days. The only thing that's going to help you is Jesus Christ and His infallible word. I told you why. We have to trust in here, because this is the only thing that's going to help you, nothing else. Because men are liars. Because Paul said that I didn't have any goodness in me. There is no goodness in me at all, period. Who's saying this? Goodness is not in me. Paul was saying this. So again, I'm telling you, the man who gave 2/3 of the Holy Scriptures in the New Testament, he said, I didn't have any goodness. Let us really listen. Let us really come to an agreement with Paul and say, yes, I don't have any goodness. Because He is the ultimate good. He is the only truth. He is the only way. He is full of life. He still wanted to do all that you really wanted to achieve. He still wanted to do through you and with you. For some time, for various obvious reasons, we don't really accept the truth. We don't believe that He is, because we see Him as a wimpy man. We think, what, He can do it. And here, when everybody's gloating, when we see all the judges and all these officials are rising up, and they're saying, we can control the things that's happening. And, it's the forgotten tree. That means, we think that, where is He? Where is He today? It's a forgotten tree. Just like the tree that was being forgotten from the day one, when Adam and Eve, they ate the forbidden fruit, because this was a forgotten tree. And now we see, after everything, said and done, we all know after 2,000 years, John is saying, you are forgotten, but you didn't forgotten. The one who planted is planted forever. His words are settled down forever. Therefore, we know who was the root, right? Eve was the root. Who was Eve? Jesus said in chapter 22, verse 15 again, what He said, I am the root of the David.